Okay. Kelly was elected to the Budget Committee in March, so congratulations. Welcome to the Budget Committee.
Thank you.
Thank you for stepping up to help us out. We generally do our committee reorganization at our first meeting in the fall, so we could probably do that first. It's on my agenda.
I make a motion that we name Jerry O'Connor as our chairperson.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
I'll make a motion to name Tom as the vice chair.
Second.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
I'll definitely hear you guys. Okay, so that's done. Anybody have any questions on the committee or anything before we begin to review the town budget figures?
I just have a couple.
Okay.
So that, I don't think that's on.
Yeah.
It sounds like it. Well, anyway, they can hear me anyway.
Tony has to be able to hear you.
So this is our first meeting, and we're just going over last year's things. Now, my term expires in March, but we will be having meetings before that for the new budget.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay,
I think we had some proposed dates there in October.
okay,
I printed those out. Yeah, we'll definitely be doing that.
okay.
Because my term ends in March too, so
Oh, okay,
we'll be retired together.
yeah. I doubt it.
Against each other.
You mean you wouldn't like my company?
You better run again. You're holding the place together. Think I'm gonna move.
Okay, anything else before we begin? We're going to discuss the, town budget figures, the year-to-date. Everybody, I'm assuming, got Dino's letter, kind of laid out some of the things that he had for us, so I guess we can begin with Bonnie.
Oh, will you refresh my mind? The ones that are in parentheses is money still left, right?
Yes. Well, it's in
At the
the,
end.
in the expenses it is, in the revenues it's.
Yeah, in the
okay.
revenues, it's the opposite, right?
Right, yes. I think that's correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Tom?
Yeah, I just had some questions on I didn't go into the detail. Your summary handles that aspect of it. But I did just want to ask some questions about this year, the 10-wheeler that was replaced due to a dramatic failure of the systems within the truck. So we had to make an unscheduled unscheduled acquisition. So that was done through a lease. Thank you for sending that information on to me. So it looks like we made the first payment in December of 2024 for that lease.
Correct.
And now we have a lease payment due in December of 2025. The 2024 one came from the highway grant funds, and just wanted to see what the town's plan was for paying that $63,000 payment in December.
Okay, so the first one, as you mentioned, came from a highway block grant, but it was an additional highway block grant. It was sort of like a leftover from COVID. Every state in the nation got a huge influx of COVID money, and New Hampshire was at the point where they didn't know where to put it anymore. So what they did was, the governor at the time, Governor Sununu, divvied it up like a highway block grant. So we called, Brock and I called DRA and our attorney, and one of the things that they recommended was purchase of vehicles and maintenance of roads and such. So that represents the first payment. As far as your question of where the second payment is, it's always been earmarked to come from the capital reserve which is voted on in March, which I'm sure you have the balance to it there in front of you, but that's how it was always designed. And just to clarify a little bit, because I know we kind of go back and forth on the term lease purchase. This is in fact a purchase, which is what the capital reserve calls for the purchase of a vehicle. Same vehicle and same capital reserve. A lease, and I brought it with me, is exactly what we're going through with the transfer station with the roll-off truck. That will actually be paid off next month, and that has a buyout where we have to pay about $40,000 and we get out of that lease and we own the truck. The gentleman that's handling the finance on the truck that Mr. Daniels is speaking of is very, very clear. The title came from the company that made the truck, and it's in our name. We don't have the physical title because, of course, we have to pay it off. It's no different than if you go out and buy a car or a truck. The title's in Wakefield's name, and at the end of this payment schedule, there is a zero balance. So it ends up being an actual purchase. So Brock's plan has always been, we raise this capital reserve every year in March. If the voters say yes to it, the payment is then held till the end of the year when we have the funds built up.
I certainly don't want to spend the town's money with our good friends Drummond and whatever the attorneys' names are, but I think we need to be careful as you move forward to fund the future lease payments as to how you fund those via capital reserve and with the appropriate wording come warrant article time. I'm not an attorney. I don't want to pretend to be one, but it says lease with option to purchase. So I hear you in terms of you saying that, you know, at the end of the 5 years, there's a zero payment at the end of the 5-year plan, but it's called a lease. It's signed as a lease, and so we just have to be careful as we move forward. And again, all of this was funds that weren't necessarily planned for. So, you know, wanted to kind of hear and just understand completely where those funds were coming for, what that plan was, and just caution us as we move forward to making sure that any future warrant articles are correctly worded so that the taxpayers understand that they're paying the lease off. Because again, that's my interpretation of what's in front of me, that you had forwarded on. It is good to see that it's got the, you know, again, as a typical of a lease agreement, it has a non-appropriation clause in it. So it means if taxpayers decide that they don't want to approve the payments moving forward, there's basically an escape clause in it. But
Correct. And if I might, Mr. Chair, just a couple of points to what Mr. Daniels said. The non-appropriation clause was something that was a concern of the attorney from NHMA, who I think responded to you in kind the way he responded to me when you had reached out to Mr. Buckley. He said as long as that's in there, and he gave a paragraph stating that that would have to be in there for the selectmen to be agents to expend. He also gave some wording about what we could change and tweak it in March as far as the warrant article, and I was planning on sending that to our attorney. So when the next capital reserve comes through, we'll have the new wording. Also, my last point, it's Brock's intention, and it would be my desire as well, and I think the selectmen are going to revisit it. The highway block grant that we get every year is $134,000, $136,000 a year. We get that in quarters. And that has to be used for highway truck purchases, equipment, and highway work. Has to be. If it doesn't, it falls to the bottom in the unassigned fund. A couple of towns in New Hampshire, according to DRA, have had warrant articles that will freeze that money. The warrant article says that it's set aside, and then Brock can use it as exactly doing this. That's our ultimate goal. And for the reason of the highway block grant comes from toll money and anyone that uses our highways. So it's not a direct impact into the pocket of the Wakefield taxpayer. So if we're getting about $134,000, Brock would like to earmark about $100,000 of that and use it for these payments. So that's the direction we're heading, because I think where you're going, Mr. Daniels, is there's a risk that if the townspeople say no to that capital reserve.
right.
Right.
And the new legislation requires that warrant articles with leases, you have to spell out that cost for the entire, when it's on the warrant article, you have to say every year what it's going to cost the taxpayer. So now the taxpayers are going to see a warrant article that's going to spell out $63,063.11 for the next 3 years or 4 years or however. Again, depends on whether you put it forward this year or whether you use highway block grants or however it's done. So, it is a concern that it can twist us all up. My final question, because I'm not quite sure how I read this, what did this cost us? I mean, if I add up the payments, it comes to 315,000, blah, blah, blah. But did we make an initial payment in July when we signed all this paperwork?
No, the first payment was that,
Was December?
correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that is the total cost.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, we actually paid, the interest component of this is 39,175. So when you accumulate all that, it's 12.4% of the total payment of that truck.
Yeah,
It's a big number.
I was looking at that today as well, compared to the new ambulance that they're trying to
Correct.
get.
Very
I
different
was-
numbers.
Very different numbers.
Right, so
Exactly.
that's why I was thinking, well, maybe when I did that math, I thought, well, maybe there was a payment made when we purchased it in July. I just wasn't
No,
sure. So that's a little,
there was no initial downstroke, and I
Okay.
think what we're looking at between the ambulance and the truck is they're putting roughly, they only need to get 150,000 for the
right.
ambulance.
Yeah,
That's
there's a big,
Ford.
right, but the interest rate was also only 6%?
Yeah, I sent it to you, it was 5
Is that what's written on the,
4.
is that,
I think it's 5.4, and then the truck is 5.85.
you put 5.45 for the
Did I write rescue next to it?
rescue?
Yeah,
and then
okay.
But you have 5.85% next to the 10-wheeler, but.
Correct.
I'm not, anyway, $39,000 in interest for a $315,000 truck. A lot of money
Yep, understood.
in interest. So anyway, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's the same way with the contracts and the warrant articles written for the teacher's contract. Every year we put in the total amounts, but.
Right.
And of course, with the highway block grant money, I mean, I guess it would guarantee the money would be there for the lease payment, but we've been spending that highway block grant money on road projects, so that money would probably, those expenses would go back to the operating budget because we'd obviously still have to do those repairs and all that maintenance.
Yeah,
That
correct.
was formerly paying for, so.
No, that's a fair point, because Brock usually would be getting right around 400,000. Sometimes there'd be right around 100,000 left over in the highway, and Brock would try to use all that for roads.
Right, yeah. Any questions on the town budget? Oh, Mark? How we doing? Oh, that's all right, we didn't wait.
Welcome to the club.
I wanted to, but I got kind of overruled by the,
By the lady with the cane.
yeah. So, like I say, I guess Dino's letter covers quite a few of the town operations, right? So, makes things pretty clear. No more questions on the town aspect of the
I get-
budget?
Good question.
What's that? You have a question now?
Just one quick question. On glass, are we now paying to get rid of, plastics? Are we now paying to get rid of plastic?
Are you looking under revenue or disposal, sir?
Revenue.
Revenue? Then that would be what we would be getting in.
Right now, I can answer that question, because I just talked to Brock about that, because when I went down to the transfer station, they were throwing glass and plastic into that compactor location. That was currently while he was working on the glass area to make it more safe for the workers when they're down there in the glass. But yes, it's gotten to the point where plastic is now costing us money to get rid of. So what's going to happen in the meantime is just going to go into the bulk.
So we're gonna hold it?
I don't even think we're going to hold it.
No, it'll go right into the bulky and be shipped out. So to answer your question, we would be paying, you couldn't discern how much, but yes, you'll be paying to get rid of plastics. Mark, is it the hard plastic, like the kid slides and
No,
that
it's
sort of
all-
thing?
all plastic.
It's all plastic, okay.
They're still doing the glass. We're not getting any money for the glass. They crush it, and then they try to get rid of it through other projects that people might need it for, but again, we're stockpiling that, so there could be a time where I think he wants to start getting the glass in the bulky too.
Yeah.
Because I was talking, I said, the bin they were throwing in, it was kind of dangerous because the glass was breaking, and it was, a couple of people had stopped me and said, hey, some of that glass flies up, but that was temporary. He's back to the glass and where it's supposed to go, but the plastics, no, we are paying for it right now.
Oh,
How much, do we know how much,
right.
kind of per truckload?
It'd be considered bulky at that point. I'm pretty, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it'd be bulky.
I can get you that number, Josh. It's per trailer. And
It is.
I don't want to just pull a number, but yeah, it's per trailer. Tonnage, I'm sorry.
Ton,
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah. Connie?
Before we leave the town budget, I wanted to say that the town hall looks absolutely fabulous. Never seen it look so sharp and wonderful. And the lights on the clock, wonderful. And I watched the side streets being paved, and whoever the paving company was, I don't know, but they really knew what they were doing. I watched them from the parking lot over there, and I was so impressed. They did a good job. The roads look wonderful. So I want to thank everybody involved.
If Brock hasn't heard that, we'll be sure to tell him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I tell him whenever I see him.
Yeah, the DPW had a fair amount of, work with that roof project there. They did what's it called? Pam gave us the correct terminology,
It
which
begins with an F. It's,
Yeah.
your husband was just telling me about it.
I know.
Careful with
we've been
that.
calling it the eternal flame, but it's not.
No,
But anyway,
no.
they shined that all up. They coordinated, I had talked to him, I said, boy, it'd be nice if we could replace those lights while we got that lift around.
Right.
He coordinated that, got it all done, so.
Yeah, you jumped right on that, and I think all four sides are lit,
Yep,
right?
all
Yes.
four
So all
sides.
four sides are lit, that hasn't happened in a long time?
No, long
If I
time.
might, just a quick story, it's kind of neat. When I first started this position, I was going through the office and I found some documents. I found that round set of keys for the selectman's office, which I had framed, but I also found this document, and it was a list of all these items for the town hall, and the total was $750. So I got it framed and it sits over here for years, and I was talking to Pam Wigan the other day, and she was telling me the name of that. I wish I could remember the name of it. It's an old-fashioned name. And she said, well, somewhere in here, there should be a list of materials for the town hall. And I said, I think I framed that 6 years ago. We went into the selectmen's room, and sure enough, not only is it a list, it's a list to make that spire, that eternal flame of truth. It's a list of materials and labor for $750 to do that.
Wow.
So I thought the timing was pretty neat, so.
Yeah.
It really pops up there, too.
It really
Really,
does.
really.
Yeah.
So many people were saying, I didn't even know it was there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're proud of that. So
Yep.
thank you, Connie.
And I'll be working on the ringy dingy, getting that back up, so.
So Quasimodo, did they get the stairs fixed so you can get up there safely?
Give me
What's
a
that?
rope.
Did they get the stairs fixed so you can get up there safely to change your clock now?
Those stairs are what they are. You're not gonna put a code regulation stairs to get up in that clock tower, I can tell you that right now.
So you're pretty nimble, you'll be all right.
He's not getting any younger.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me, John.
So we had some proposed dates for the, to review the town budget, and it was Thursday, October 23rd, Saturday, October 25th, and Wednesday, October 29th. And I think Saturday, we've been doing 9 to 1, 9 to noon, 9 to 1. And I think we could do those other meetings that, would 6:30 work for everybody, or?
What's Saturday you talking about, Jerry, in October?
I'm sorry? Yeah,
What's Saturday?
The 25th,
25th, Saturday, yeah.
That's the only Saturday?
Excuse me?
That's the only Saturday?
Yes, that's the one where we do usually do the outside agencies, and
Yep.
And what was the last date?
the 29th, Wednesday, the 29th,
Okay. Thank you.
23rd, 25th, and 29th, if that's okay with everybody, we'll, perfect. Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
So I wasn't sure where, but I wanted to jump in. I just had some questions about the sewer part of it. So for revenues on the sewer, I'd reached out, and I don't know if you have this information, the Fund 2 balance.
I have the balances, yeah.
Okay, I was just looking for the Fund 2 balance at the end of the year, 2024.
Yep. It looks like on November 30th, 192,747.
That was at the end of November.
Correct.
And what's the balance look like today?
Today is 150,988.
Thank you. And then when I look at the revenues for the sewer department on the sheets that we got, remind me, when do those bills get sent out and when do they get paid? So I'm looking at it, it says, we anticipated 135,000, we've got 107,000 in, but do we still have a billing left, or is it just stuff? I'm just not familiar with the
This is where I just
cash flow.
look over
Tony.
She handles a lot of it.
I'm sorry, so your question was, do we have another billing coming in?
Ye-
We have tipping fees still coming in,
Okay,
additional tipping fees. Both sewer bills.
let me,
The sewer bills go out in February, which really covers the last half of the previous year, and then they go out again in July to August.
okay,
So they're always kind of behind. I quite frankly am not sure.
but we're probably recording it on a cash basis, right? So when the money's coming in from what got billed in July, the money's coming in August and September, and then it probably falls off and it's just the tipping fees.
Exactly.
So I guess where it's ultimately going is, are we on track to do 135,000? Because it seems like we're bringing in more than we anticipated. Part of my bringing it all up, of course, is with our sewer fees are based on water usage, right? Water that used to leak all over the place, now the water precinct has kind of stopped that from happening. So a lot more water being used, or a lot less water being used, right? So is that affecting our sewer revenues?
But the water, the readings that we use do come from the water department, but we take into account when there has been a leak in your basement.
Okay,
Okay, if the water precinct determines that, yes, they had a leak downstairs, so this water, they took it in, the water, but it did not go out through the sewer system. We take that into account. Now, as far as the leaks down the road that they used to have.
Right, that wouldn't count.
That would have been a
Right.
different story. That
Yeah.
wouldn't have
But-
affected the sewer.
I guess, are we on track to do 135,000? Are we going to have more?
We normally do very close to it, if just under or just over.
Okay.
It's normally I can't guarantee it, it is normally a pretty good shot. We still have several good months of tipping fees to go.
Right. Okay, and then on the expense side, we had the gate replacement. Is that already in these expenses here, under the capital expense
I believe
line?
that, yeah, I believe that is in there, Mr. Manager. Also, a part of the difference is what you're seeing is, as you know, we used to have a full-time employee there with
Right.
medical.
Yep.
So now we're paying, I think it's just over $1,000 a month for a person to be there for a license.
Right, so-
Some savings there, but we didn't want to cut that in case somebody goes back in.
Right, no, I'm mostly looking at the capital stuff of it. So the gates in there, in that $19,000 expenditure, and then there was also the cost of, choose my words a little bit, I think. There was the cost to rehab one of the ribs. Is that showing up in the actual expenses under the system capital reserve?
They did that, but refresh my memory, I'm gonna have you put on your trustee hat. I thought we went for trustee money on that? No?
So that did not
Okay.
go through. So that was the one where they dug up one of the things and they put new sand in it and all that type of stuff. And we had talked about that getting,
Trustees considered that maintenance.
right, so I'm just when I'm looking at these expenses, I'm looking to see if that money is in here yet. Where'd that money come from? You know, it got paid, right? We paid somebody to do it. I mean, I think Brock did some of it, but, so I'm just.
I take a note and I get back to you on that?
Yep.
Just to be sure?
So what I'm really asking is, the 19,637,000 that's been spent year-to-date on system capital reserves doesn't appear to capture both the gate and the rehabbing of that lagoon rib.
Okay.
So I'm wondering where did that lagoon rib, where'd those costs go? Thanks.
Never going to hear the end of that gate.
Now I'm done with sewer.
Are you done with that? You all done?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. Not like Josh, you're all done and then all of a sudden you pop up with the, anyway.
You had to mention it.
Oh, hold on, by the way.
Okay, I guess that's pretty much everything to do with the town, right? We got our schedule kind of figured out. We'll figure out obviously, the public hearing will be in the beginning of January, and then the selectmen will set the date for the deliberative session, so.
Yep.
Awesome, great. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thanks
Dino.
for coming
Thanks,
in.
Tony.
Now we can beat up on the school a while. Our favorite pastime here on the Budget Committee.
Wow,
Right,
Spalding
Connie?
went down, Spalding went down quite a bit.
Yeah,
See that? 53 last year, ninth grade, 36.
yeah. Wonder if it's like homeschooling, or if they went to other,
I know.
or if they
The
went to
other
other.
time, the other
venues.
years have gone up, though.
You just didn't take test scores, so we don't count them.
Michelle, where would you be comfortable? Would you like to sit there? Maybe we can get another microphone over there.
Because you have to apply
I don't know.
You need another mic, I think we can use this one.
Oh, okay, yeah. Thanks, Dino.
I would think. All the fences.
Oh,
It's not regular capacity, it's really little.
good afternoon, Michelle. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm just excited. It's budget season. I always get excited at budget season. Get to harass people. That's pretty awesome. That's a pretty awesome.
This is Carol, our Student
Carol?
Service Director.
Hi,
Hi, nice to meet you.
thank you.
She's,
Thanks for having me.
Sitting in for Donna tonight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Donna couldn't make it. She had to be, she go to Hawaii?
Yes.
Oh, that poor, yeah, she doesn't know what,
We were just
she
going to
doesn't
say
know what
out of
she's
state.
missing.
Yeah, we were gonna say out of state, but
Well, someone had
There's the
to,
whole of the school budget.
stay and hold down the fort. Okay, so everybody got the expenditure reports. So of course, this is for the 2024-25 season, fiscal year that just ended on June 30th. So they're pretty much, I mean, everything's pretty much settled. You, at this point, I mean, it was like 11,000. We had 11,000 extra roughly.
Yes. Yep.
That's gonna be pretty close with an $11 million, I mean, budget, right? So I mean, you're kind of getting down to that.
Yep.
Yeah, that
very close this year.
sweating a little bit.
Yes.
But, you know, we appreciate that you were able to come in under budget, so. Does anybody have questions?
I always have questions, but I don't want to go first again. So
You don't?
I'll
Okay, who
be
wants
happy to
to,
let somebody
who
else
wants
go.
to go first? Josh, what do you got?
Not yet.
I motion for Tom to go.
I ease into it.
No, Connie will go first. She'll jump right in.
Do we send one child to Brewster? Is that what this says here? For the 24, 25? We've been sending one child to Brewster?
Yes.
So it must be a special needs child, right, for us to pay for Brewster? No?
No.
So how does that work? Does it work like Kingswood?
He or she is a senior. So 25 was the last year, and it was approved by the board for ninth grade, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. We only pay the Spalding rate.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Like Kingswood, okay?
The parents have to pay the difference.
Yes, okay, good.
Jerry, I have a question if I could go.
Sure, yeah, go ahead, Mark.
Parentheses and negatives, correct?
Correct.
Right, because I'm seeing is total amount left, what do we have? Because I know, you know, I always get into this discussion with some people about bottom line budgets.
11,429.
That's what's left.
That's what's left.
So you.
Right on the last
basically,
page, Mark.
left, you move around and balance it out.
We're a bottom line budget.
Right.
So, yeah.
No, I get questions about that where some people say, well, that's not a true representation of what we're spending when we bottom line it, but that's what the reason for a bottom line budget. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Yep.
Yeah, as a selectman, I mean, once in a while, you guys will transfer money.
Exactly, but, you know, I've gotten questioned about that before, you know, like the transparency and whatever, and it's a bottom line budget, and sometimes you do overexpend lines and you make it up, and as long as you balance out and have a positive at the end, that's a good thing.
Right. So,
My
You're ready.
my questions, do you want the old questions first? Because I have audit question.
Sure.
Can we go back? So can we just, you had sent on, so the completed audit was from the 2002, 2003 year? 2002, right? 2022, your fiscal year 2022. And in there, it identified that there was a material weakness in some of the procedures for the school that were identified, and it centered around grant administration. So that was identified, there was a recommendation made by the audit committee, and then there was a plan put in place by the SAU to address that material weakness in the audit report. And as I'm reading it, it states that the district hired a financial assistant in August of 2023 to deal with this material weakness.
Yes.
Do we still have that position and that person?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so take me to the last 2 years of which we do not have audited financials.
Yes.
I understand why we don't have this year's financials. It's been
Yes.
a few months, so that I'm not, but it's been a year plus and we don't have audited financials, of which I understand the reason is.
So 2022 took him a while because of the grants. And that there was nobody in the SAU office doing grant management.
Right.
So that took him a while. So when he completed that, it was almost a year and a half later. So when he finally came back to the office for fiscal year '23,
When you say he, you're referring to the
our
auditor? Okay,
our
thank you.
auditors, when the auditor came back, he said, let's do this bulk style. We're going to do 23, 24. Can you pull 23, you pull 24? So me and my coworker, we each took a year. We pulled everything they needed for the 2 or 3 days that they were there. They went back to the office, still working on 23, 24. 23, due to spending $1 million in grants, we had to go to a single audit, so he needed more information. So we had to give him more accounts payable and payroll information. So we had to pull more data. He sent us that back in May. We were converting May of this year. So we were converting to the new system, so we had training, so he gave us some time to do it, and we sent that to him by the end of July. Then he sent us another spreadsheet to get 24 information. We sent him accounts payable, then we finished with payroll about a week and a half ago now. Jen, my coworker still has to get all the grant information for fiscal year '23. and that has a November deadline. So he's behind, it's because of the grants and single audits.
So,
But 25 doesn't need a single audit because we did not receive over $1 million in grant aid.
So the 22 and 23.
So
We
20,
got ghosted for a while from our auditor, so.
so can you take a step?
Yep.
You're telling me that November is the date now?
November is the date to get the grants, because he said that the fiscal year '23 grants are a mess. And that is,
But we hired somebody to handle that.
but it's a mess for a different reason. I can't speak to it.
Yeah.
I cannot speak to it. Sorry.
So, but you said the 2023 and 2024 audit that you were expecting those to be done. They're being done at the same time.
They're
and you
being
thought
done
those
at the
would be-
same time by
And you
his
thought those
office.
would be done in the next couple months, and
We hope so,
you're hoping so for that?
but, yep.
So the headlines in the news have been pretty clear over the last month about a school district that is in serious problems. And we're here today with audits that are 2+ years old. And you're telling us we can't get answers as to why.
He has told us that when he was finishing up '22, he thought '23 grants were going to not be good for us. But when I spoke with him on the phone a few months ago, he said, it doesn't look as bad. It just looks to be journal entries moving from one grant to another grant. A former finance manager had set up the grants under one budget line item instead of doing it by activity. So everything was lumped in, and reporting made it very difficult if it's not broken out by an activity, because the New Hampshire DOE has it by an activity. So if they set it up as, if you have 4 activities for salaries, with 4 activities of a FICA tax and 4 activities of retirement, and he put all those 4 activities under one salary, one retirement, one FICA, it's hard to report it back to the DOE. So you have to do it by each individual activity. So those grants were not set up right, the ESSA grants. And we had those ESSA grants until September of '24. So that's why '23 and '24 are a mess, is because of the ESSA grants. And that's where the problem is. There's a lot of movement that needs to take place, or setting up new things on an old system that we're not using anymore. So we're gonna have to do journal entries and work with Tyler Tech to get things moved back in. We reported the money because Jen, my coworker, created a spreadsheet with the activities and was able to report the money. So we've been able to report to the DOE, but we couldn't fix the system. So that's what he's doing. That's what he's helping us with. And that's the part of the audit.
So when do you anticipate
Um,
work's being completed for '23 and '24?
Last week's email, he had everything for payroll and accounts payable for the single audit. So I'll reach out to him again.
Josh?
So when the audit was performed and he noted these things, are there things now in place to break out each activity?
Yes, there have
And when
been
did he
since.
first notice, when did he first identify this?
And when he came in to do the '22 audit, after that finance manager had left,
And when did he do that audit?
so he left in May of '22, so that audit was probably done in October, or maybe that was February of '23. It was a while after. I want to say February of '23 is when he came. Because I remember it was snowing, so I think it was February.
So on another note, how's the transportation situation shaken out now? Is that for the buses, and is that all working out pretty good now, or you're pretty satisfied with
Yeah,
the new contractor? And
I haven't heard, I mean,
Only one parent concern this year.
I'm sorry?
Only one parent concern
Oh, really? Well,
since,
that's pretty good.
since June.
Yeah, we know, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Okay, I'll get in.
yes.
The special education, there was quite a shortfall there. Was that because of an additional student?
2 additional students needing out of district, and also the specialized transportation piece.
Okay.
Yeah, so just, so the school had to request funds from that capital reserve, or that expendable trust.
Right.
That's where it landed at just a little bit over.
Yes.
They requested from that special ed expendable trust, basically only what they needed.
Yeah.
They could have, in theory, they could have requested what was negative in that account,
Right.
in that line, but then they would have ended up with excess that just turned right around and went right back in a big circle. So they only requested exactly what they needed in order to have a positive balance at the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's why it ended up with such a close number.
Well, over the years, that's been like a moving target, you know, it's like,
Yes.
you don't know when you're gonna get a student that's gonna be that
Exactly.
classification.
Right.
It could happen anytime during the year.
Yep, and at 2, it's $300,000
Plus transportation.
plus transportation.
Plus,
So just looking at this, looking at last year's budget, obviously it is what it is. One of the things, though, that I just took a quick look at was obviously where the year ended, and then looking at where we budgeted for the 2025, 2026 year. Say, hey, now that the year ended and it was either way off or way high or way low, do we have something to worry about for the upcoming year? And really the only one, and I don't know that you'll have this off the top of your head, probably not, but one of the things that is always a moving target because it touches so many different places is salaries, in particular, the salaries that are associated with the leadership team of the school, which completely changed this year, right? We have a new superintendent, new vice principal, new principal, new vice principal, new technology director. You're in a new role. Carol, you left and came back. So,
Left on paper,
so my,
came back on paper.
so my question is, looking at the current budget, 25, 26, do we have any potential shortfalls
No.
in the leadership salary, benefits, FICA, et cetera, relative to what we budgeted?
no.
Okay, thank you.
Something that Tom hit on was another, I don't know if it's, I don't know when the last Claremont decision, if that was 20 years ago or 15 years ago, but are we anticipating any problems from this new Claremont? This new Claremont 2.0, is this gonna, the last time the government stepped in, the state stepped in and, fixed everything and did all the equalizing on the property values and taxes, but do we anticipate any Claremont problem? Because I remember when the first Claremont decision came out, someone had said that our district had been very close to being the town that actually started that before Claremont did it, so, I didn't know if that was something we have to
Not to my knowledge.
worry about that.
No,
What are the odds of that happening in 2 towns I've lived in?
Not good.
I don't know if a single town has the same problem twice in a row, maybe it's just something in the town, but, right?
Deficit, come on.
Maybe we should go over and be their budget committee and try and help them out. Anybody else have any questions, or do you have any dates? Well, you'd probably have to talk to Donna, right, before you could have any dates or know when you guys would be ready, have your proposed budget ready.
I believe we're meeting on September 24th,
29th.
29th, is it?
Last Tuesday,
September, I think it's September 30th.
the last Tuesday
Yeah.
of September.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think we've been doing the budget for the school, and I think we've been doing those meetings in November mostly, but around, I think we were doing them like around
push
just
them up
before, or
to
just after Thanksgiving in the
Yep, I
past.
believe so.
Around Thanksgiving, right?
Columbus Day weekend, please.
I would love to be done by Thanksgiving.
We're
You
ahead
know,
of the
I've
game.
always said that, and it just doesn't, we could shoot for it.
Yes.
Talk to your people.
Always an additional December meeting or something.
Yeah.
We have no negotiations this year, so
And we are ahead of the game.
we are ahead of the game.
Internally compared to last year, so.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's up, if you know, I mean, it's a kind of, you know what our schedule is for the town, we'll have that wrapped up by the end of October. The last meeting is the 29th of October, so I mean, if you guys,
I guess it will be based on our September 30th meeting, how that goes.
Yep.
Okay.
because we usually do the school budget in 2 meetings, I think we've been doing that in 2 meetings. And Josh has a question. What's up?
It's just on the settlement for the gym floor. I see that it's $25,000.
Yes.
Where's that go to? repair
That, we put that in a separate line, and we put a deposit down on the vendor already.
Okay.
Yep. And they already gave Brad a quote and everything.
Just a comment, if I understood correctly, you're fully staffed, correct?
I think we only need one.
We have one special
manager.
education opening, it's a case manager.
Well,
I've
congratulations on getting to
And
where you are.
that's more than any year that we've had.
Yeah, no, I thought I heard in the last meeting that you had everybody, but being even short just one special ed is
Well, I did move
congratulations.
around caseloads, so every student is covered, just in case we don't fill this position. But that's the only position posted,
That's great.
except for, of course, daily substitutes, we're always looking for those.
I know,
If anyone is
Anybody want to raise your
available,
hand?
I went in and read with them, and but when we did that
Sitting on
was
those
who's that
I've
we
been
did that
saving
with?
money.
I can't think of her name, but we went in and read, I don't know, I just said, man, that was going in and reading, that was, I had my feel, I was like, I don't know how you do that. I mean, it was like a madhouse, going in there and reading for a couple hours and trying to get up off the floor after you read books for an hour.
That's true.
It was challenging. So we've been doing all our meetings here at the Opera House. Last year, there was some discussion about maybe doing the school meetings back at the library like we had done in the past. Does everybody want to stay doing them at the Opera House, or do we want to go on the road and,
I'm indifferent to it.
okay.
I don't know what the new equipment they got with they purchased some new equipment for the channel.
Oh, did they?
And I don't know if they're gonna be a little bit more flexible with the remote, but, you know, technology-wise, I think it's probably wise just to have it here.
Right.
Well, yeah, we can do that. Just wanted to check. Well, is this meeting being recorded? I didn't see anybody in the,
I believe it is, yeah, with all the stuff going on.
Josh?
I have a quick question about that, actually, with Clearview, because now that they broadcast this on YouTube, right, did they get any monetary funds from those videos? And if they did, what does that go into?
Not to my knowledge, they don't. What, for the YouTube, what if they get so many views?
So many views, they get a monetary, they do, yeah. So does it offset our cost as a town?
I don't think we're gonna get that threshold, is it?
You never know, we got Jerry's chair here.
Anything could happen. I
We don't
mean,
want
you
either,
never-
we might become
Well, you-
1.4 million views.
You're pretty funny sometimes, Josh. I mean, you fit right in here, so I mean,
The high school enrollment, if they, is that a normal and steady decline over the months there, or?
Yeah, you have people moving out or homeschooled or, what's the VLAX?
VLAX online schooling.
VLAX online schooling.
That's quite the 197 to 178 in June.
Yeah, we were looking at that yesterday also.
I wonder if people are homeschooling now. There's a lot of people talk about doing that, but.
We also had several We also had several high school students who aged out because they turned 22. Legally, they're allowed to stay until they're 22 if they're not on a diploma track. And they aged out through last year, so they're not with us this year. at the high school. They're with us, they're not with us at the high school.
22. That's,
Wow.
that's pretty magnanimous of us to provide those services, I'd say, but,
It's the law.
hey, Dino's back.
Oh, he must have a number for you.
Oh, gee whiz.
Back to the town.
Wow, holy moly. Well, we'll have another meeting on the 23rd of October to,
Looking forward to hearing those answers at that point.
so, so you guys have any questions for us or anything? I mean, I guess if you want to,
No, I mean, we'll
Figure out
take
your-
it back, you know, if we're ready early, obviously,
Figure out-
we'll let you know. We just don't have an answer yet till we see what happens on the 30th.
right,
And just to reiterate, I definitely have some concerns about not having audited financials for the last, now 3 years, right? Or we're missing, we don't have 23, 24, 25.
Right.
So I'm sure you will continue to keep that as a priority.
He said he will start on 25 once he's done.
so it'll be caught up, I mean, if you get those 2 years wrapped up, 23 and
Has to
24, that'll
hurry.
be a big leap toward,
And that concern's very understandable.
Yes.
I mean, you know, I mean, Vashon and Clockley, they're the same people that do the audits for the town, so I mean, I think, I think we can have quite a bit of confidence in what they're doing, and I don't think that they're, I mean, I don't think they're blowing smoke when they're telling you that they're having problems, so, you know, with their figures.
They just want
But-
to get it right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
it's
think
really
that
good.
it'll be nice to get things, straightened out. I think we talked a little bit about it when we went to our own SAU. I think that those of us that were on the committee and then the people that voted for it, I think we kind of anticipated that it was gonna come together a little faster than this, but hopefully we're on the right track now, but.
Good thing is we're not the only district that is behind on our audits. I
Yeah.
checked with other BAs when I went to my class. Because I was concerned and they're like, oh, we're behind too, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you're training to be a BA now, right? You're going through that training now,
Aiming to
so.
get my certificate, yes.
Okay.
She's doing a
Because those-
fantastic job.
That's hard.
Fantastic.
Those are hard to find. I mean, and,
Hard to find.
who's that guy? Landers was going to start a program over at New Hampshire, what was that, the New Hampshire College there, just for BAs, but it never developed. I think
No
that
one
was
wants
at
the
that.
job.
I got one class done, I passed it.
Did you?
Good.
Well, that's good.
Number two.
Well, thank you, Michelle. I mean, I like the fact that you've got answers. We ask a question and you've got answers. That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you have to stay, you can't go anywhere once you get once you get all your credentials and all that, you
I gave
still
him
have.
10 years.
Oh, wow.
Years?
Wow.
We'll take it.
Commitment.
Hold you to it.
We got that on tape. We'll hold you to that.
She didn't sign the contract yet, though.
Super. I guess we appreciate you coming in. It was nice meeting you, Carol, and
You too, thank you.
we'll look forward to hearing from you guys and get the schedule set, and then, I guess Dino was burning the midnight oil here, get a little information. I have that on my agenda for the next, item.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, appreciate it.
This is the year.
Can we get Tesco?
Have a good night. Thank you.
I'm gonna get to sleep in January.
Zillow
Thanks,
rings you
Michelle.
guys at 3.
Yeah, you wanna come up to a
I'm
mic
gonna be
or?
able to get a good value for my house.
Answers Mr. Daniels had asked about the sewer, so I got the sewer budget in front of me. For maintenance and service line, we had budgeted $5,000 and spent $11,124, so we're over by $6,000. That is where the gate came from, the infamous gate.
I'm sorry, can you go, you're on the expenses for the sewer,
Yep,
and which line?
it's about halfway down where it says maintenance service, line 430,
Okay,
okay? That one holds the gate.
wait. 4:30. Says actual 0.
Okay, let
What
me
am I
see
looking
if
at
we're,
wrong?
maybe we're looking at different paperwork.
Oh, maintenance services? Okay, there we go, okay. I was looking at maintenance, I was looking at line maintenance
Oh,
services.
okay,
Which is also a 4:30.
okay.
Maintenance service, okay, so that's where the gate came from?
That's where the gate came from.
Okay,
And then when you go down to system capital reserve,
yep,
we budgeted 15,000, we've spent 19,637. That's where the ribs
okay.
came from.
Great.
So both have been
That's
paid.
what I, that's, thank you.
Yeah, I needed my calculator anyway. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Dino,
Thanks,
thanks for
Dino.
taking care of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate it. We have minutes from March 4th, when we met with our water precinct. We met to review the water precinct budget and hold their public hearing. Anybody want to make a motion? Everybody got those?
Motion to approve the minutes from March 4th, 2025?
Seconded.
Action second by Josh. All in favor? Aye. We got that, Priscilla? Perfect.
So I'll abstain from that one, I wasn't.
Does anybody have any questions before we adjourn? No, nothing?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you folks for coming out.